Welcome to Street Dog Worldwide, where we keep it raw, real, and always relevant. I am your host, Steven Stewart, also known as the original Street Dog, and today I want to share my experience at a very special event, the 11th annual Greater Sacramento Aneurysm AVM Support Group Walk, which took place on Saturday, September 28th, 2024, at the beautiful Gibson Ranch, which is located in Elverta, the outside area of Sacramento, California. The walk started at 9 o'clock a.m. and it brought together aneurysm survivors, AVM survivors, and their families to raise awareness, share stories, and celebrate life. Let me tell you, Gibson Ranch was the perfect spot for this event. If you've never been, it's an incredible 1,200-acre park that offers wide open spaces, which is perfect for community events like this one. The park features farms, ponds, a ranch, and walking and biking trails that wind through scenic landscapes. It's truly a peaceful place to gather for a cause as meaningful as this. I had the privilege of talking to both the event organizer and many survivors throughout the day. But before I dive into their incredible stories, let's break down what an aneurysm and an AVM are for those who couldn't make it. An aneurysm is basically a weak spot in a blood vessel, almost like a balloon that swells up. If that balloon bursts, it can lead to bleeding in the brain, which can be deadly. Most aneurysms don't give warning, but some people experience sudden severe headaches, blurred vision, or nausea, symptoms that a few survivors I spoke to said came on without notice. Now, an AVM or arteriovenous malformation is something different but just as dangerous. It's an abnormal connection between arteries and veins in the brain. Normally, arteries carry blood away from the heart and veins return it to the heart. But in an AVM, these connections get tangled, which cause dangerous pressure. If an AVM ruptures, it can cause a stroke, just like an aneurysm. Talking to survivors at the event made it clear how important it is to know these risks because both conditions often go undetected until something goes seriously wrong. Before the walk, I had the pleasure of talking with the event organizer, an aneurysm survivor herself. She told me how important this annual walk has become for survivors and their families.
My name is Michelle Jones, and this event today is the 11th annual Brain Aneurysm and AVM Walk here at Gibson Ranch. And the exciting thing about it is we have all of our friends and family visiting today just to take short walks and to get our brain and body moving. And the purpose of this event is to raise awareness to people who have suffered a brain aneurysm or an AVM, and we'll be taking short walks, long walks, just to get connected and talk to one another. And the reason why we're here today is because it's quiet and it's peaceful.
And beautiful.
Yes, and we wanted to make sure that everyone has that part of the enjoyment of having something quiet, slow, soft, because sometimes our brains are moving, and today we're hoping to just slow that down today.
Hi, I'm Christy DeLemus. I'm a nurse practitioner with the Department of Neurological Surgery at UC Davis Health, and I've worked with this group for more than a decade. It means a lot to me to support aneurysm patients and their families. It is so impactful to suffer from a brain aneurysm, and there's so much research that needs to be done to advance the care of aneurysm survivors. And here we are today doing a walk to raise awareness throughout the community about brain aneurysm and what kinds of treatments are available. Today, I am here to support all the families that have suffered brain aneurysm and our patients who also have gotten through this. And it means a lot to me personally to be able to do this. I have worked in this career field for more than 20 years now, and supporting patients and families is of the utmost importance to me, and also delivering and looking towards research that will improve the care that they receive.
I also spoke to some survivors and their loved ones, and what really stood out was the sense of resilience and hope. I met people who had undergone surgeries, some who are still living with AVMs, and others who are pushing forward one day at a time, grateful for their second chance at life.
This aneurysm support group means a lot to me because it's very important to have support, especially when you have mental health challenges, because it does affect the brain. I have brain aneurysm survivor, so I'm also a stroke survivor.
Hi, my name's Redonda, and I had my aneurysm, a brain aneurysm, on Christmas Day, 2015. I had never been sick. I was just totally shocked when they told me I was bleeding on the brain when they rushed me to the hospital. I had many setbacks. My life was totally different. I didn't remember things. I was had a good job at the time. I was working for the state of California. After the aneurysm, because I couldn't remember things as quickly or could remember things right away, I had a job that was really fast paced, where I had to remember things quickly. I had certain deadlines, and so that was my first hurdle. Was I had to accept that I was losing my job because of my memory. Then I was in the hospital December 25th to January 10th. After that, I lost my income. Then when I got home 6 months later, I had never had a seizure in my life. But after the aneurysm, I had 6 months later, I just woke up in the hospital. Don't even remember how I got there. And I just remember getting ready for bed that night. We had all went to the movies, me, my husband, and my daughter, and I woke up in the hospital. And they later I found out that I had had the worst kind of seizure, grand mal seizure, and they were trying to regulate the medicine. And after, well, when I first got home, I was able to drive, not long distances, but after I had the seizure, I could not drive anymore. So that was the second hurdle. I felt bad. I had lost my driver's license, I lost my job. And then after trying to regulate the medicine, it took me 4.5 years to get my driver's license back. So I felt that, I felt really happy after that. And coming to this aneurysm support group, I've met so many people that I'm able to talk to that have had hard times, but have now just grateful to be alive, because everyone doesn't survive a brain aneurysm. So I thank God for, letting me survive. And this group has just been fantastic.
Families and friends of aneurysm survivors were right by their side, walking the trails of Gibson Branch, supporting them every step of the way. Many told me they couldn't have gone through the hard times without their support networks, which this event brought together so beautifully.
I still go on vacation with then we weren't married, but we went on vacation, and what happened was I don't remember going, but I had a ruptured brain aneurysm and going into a hospital for 3 4 weeks, and I didn't know it, and they had to get my family all the way from California over there to stay with me and make those decisions that I couldn't make, and he couldn't make because he wasn't, you know, my husband at the time. And it was a long road to recovery for the first couple of years, but I'm here um, from going to these support groups, especially this one is important to me because it helped me learn about things that I didn't know, and it just makes me feel normal in the
Amen.
spirit. Mhm.
My name's Monty Stagnero, and this is my wife Susan, and she's the love of my life. And it was very traumatic day when her aneurysm ruptured, and it was very scary.
And you two weren't married at the time?
No, we weren't.
Were you dating?
We were dating, yes. We were just taking a trip to Las Vegas just to see a show. So that night she had that morning, 6 a.m. in the morning, she woke up screaming, saying, "I have an aneurysm." That was kind of strange. And she just woke up that way and said, "I'm having an aneurysm." And she passed out, and I called the desk, and they came up and called the paramedics, and they took her to the hospital, and the hospital figured out that she had an aneurysm at burst, and so I had to get on the phone and call her family and let her know what was going on, because I couldn't make any medical decisions. They told me that wasn't allowed.
How tough was that for you?
The tough part was because I didn't have any of her family's phone numbers on my phone.
Contacting people.
And I had to break into her phone. And it worked because I didn't know her password. I just tried different things.
Wow.
And it opened up, and I was able to call her family, tell them what was happening. You tell it still.
So, talk about what it means to be a supporter for an aneurysm survivor, and what it means to you and what you went through.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that she got the right medical attention. Her family really rallied together. They split up everything. We all split up our duties, but one sister took care of the medical and insurance side. The other one, while I was working, would take care of her at their house and make sure that she was, getting all her medication and rest. And I would come in on the weekends and take care of her and relieve her sister of her duty, give her a break, because it's very stressful and tiring when you're a caregiver.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of it's not a lot of stress. It's just very, very tiring, I should say. And
love pulls you through.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make sure that she was taken care of and that she got stronger. And she did it. She did it. She had to learn how to write. She had to learn how to walk. She had to almost start from the beginning on learning how to do things. And I just wanted to make sure that she was able to do all that.
The walking and biking trails are perfect for events like this because they offer plenty of space to spread out and reflect. Being out there, surrounded by nature, was a reminder of how precious life is and how important it is to savor these moments with loved ones. It felt like the perfect setting for survivors to walk with their families, take in the fresh air, and celebrate their journeys. You couldn't ask for a better backup to honor such an important cause.
My name is Randy Henry. My aneurysm ruptured on October 1st, 1999. I was in college at the time. I went back to college and finished, and moved out here to California, the Bay Area, in 2012. So it's been about 12 years here, and found this group about 10 years ago. And it's just an excellent network of fellow survivors, supporters, and people who can sympathize with you and share your story with them, and always there for support. So it's an excellent group.
I am a 3-time brain aneurysm survivor. My first aneurysm I had was in 2005. It was ruptured. I was disabled for a very long time, and my parents had to care for me at 38 years old. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't even button my shirt or tie a shoe. So a lot of rehab, and it took about a year for me to recover. And then 5 years down the road, I had a second brain aneurysm while having a checkup. So I opted for voluntary surgery so I didn't have another rupture. And in 2017, had another one, and that was a rupture. So I didn't volunteer for that one. I had to have another surgery to have coiling in my brain and a stent. And the stent helps the blood flow through the brain. So that's what's keeping me alive, and the people here keep me alive. My family keeps me going. Every day I'm just grateful to be here and to share with all of the people today.
Each year, the walk grows, not just in numbers, but in the strength of the bonds it creates between survivors and their supporters. Hearing the organizers' passion for raising awareness and funds for research really hit home for me. The 11th annual Aneurysm AVM Walk was more than just an event, it was a celebration of life, strength, and survival. Being there, talking to survivors and their supporters, and hearing their stories was a powerful reminder that life is a gift and we have to take it one day at a time. As many of you may or may not know, I'm not just a bystander in this journey. I am an aneurysm survivor myself. So when I say I understand the fight, the challenges, and the victories, I'm speaking from experience. I know what it means to wake up every day with gratitude and to push forward, no matter what life throws at you. And like I always say, you gotta take life one bark, one bite, one bone at a time. I left Gibson Ranch inspired by the resilience of the human spirit and the incredible support systems that these survivors have in their families, friends, and communities. And for many of them, that's how they continue to approach life. Every day is a new chance to keep fighting, to keep moving forward, and to keep living life to the fullest. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who came out to the event, especially the survivors and their families who shared their stories with me. Your strength is truly inspiring, and I look forward to sharing more of these incredible stories in future episodes. This was another feature of Street Dog Worldwide, where we live, love, laugh, listen, and learn. I'm the original Street Dog, an aneurysm survivor, and until next time, stay strong, stay hungry, and keep on barking.